Welcome to Wanna Bet, the daily gambling game show that takes betting seriously, but not much else. Get our favorite plays on the totals, sides, props, exotics, and futures to jump on now.
So let's get it started with Jason and Ben. Let's get it started with Jason and Ben. Let's get it started with Jason and Ben. Subject som kräver konsoldator konsolferino. Let's get it started with Jason and Ben. Let's get it started with Jason and Ben.
Hey there, welcome to Wanna Bet. I'm Jason, that's Ben. I will try to bring some energy and verve and vigor today, but it is a very sad day in this household. But wait, Ben, I've been writing about sports, covering sports since probably 4 years younger than you are now. I think I got paid to write my first sports story when I was 19 years old. I'm 52 now. I graduated college in 96, went straight to the Baltimore Sun as a 2-year intern where I'd already been interning. And so really you're talking about 30 years as a professional journalist. And almost half that time, 14 of those 30 years, I was employed by the Washington Post. I can't imagine. It's hard for me to imagine sports. Almost impossible for me to imagine sports and not having a Washington Post sports section with the best and the brightest chronicling it all. We're all here because we love sports to some degree. We watch sports. You follow sports. If you're putting your money down on this and you're not reading about sports or not consuming sports content, then you're kind of going about it a backwards way. And I get it. Numbers uber alles. But, I am beyond devastated. And I knew this day was coming. Like I knew it since really the last conversation I had with Jason Murray, the sports editor there in the middle of December. I knew that he didn't have an operating budget for 2026. And he probably wasn't going to have a staff for 2026. And he wasn't going to be staffing probably a World Cup on our soil, and he wasn't sure how they were staffing the Winter Olympics that were just around the corner. I mean, we've got billionaires purchasing institutions and pillars that were established to protect democracy, and they're systematically eviscerating them, and they're hiding behind a bottom line that isn't true. He's financing a propaganda movie, the guy who's killed the Washington Post. He spent $50 million on a wedding just this year. He decimated the opinion page of the Washington Post about 15 months ago, which was going to categorically start destroying readership. He employed people who know nothing about U.S. journalism to oversee the operation. He's worth more money than he's ever been worth before. It's mass layoffs at Amazon. But what he's really doing at the same time, he's losing, I don't know, conservatively $50 million financing a propaganda film about a corrupt regime and a vapid, soulless ghoul first lady. He's decimating journalism. And why is he doing it? He's eliminating experts. He's eliminating experts to make you dumber, to make me dumber, to make Ben dumber, to make society dumber, to keep chipping away at the rule of law, killing our norms, and fucking our democracy. Like, that's what this is ultimately about. And sports is the sandbox, and sports is a small part of that. But the intersection of sports and politics is more alive than ever. It's more real than ever. It's more intertwined than ever. And it's beyond devastating. Beyond devastating. And it's beyond soulless. And it's not, the numbers don't tell the story. It's not necessary at all. This is a choice. It's a choice to continue gutting the people who can tell you more about the Middle East than anybody else, gutting the people who know how to investigate corrupt regimes better than anybody else. It's about billionaires consolidating information, consolidating their truths, and making it harder and harder to get at the real truths. So I feel a little bit like a schmuck here today doing this. I'm just going to be honest. I'm not in a good mood. I probably won't be in a good mood for a while. There's a lot of tremendous journalists, people who really did seek truth, people who devoted their lives and risked their lives to find truth, who have just had their life's work obliterated. I don't know how to make the segue, Ben. But I also had to get on my soapbox a little bit here. I guess we'll put the ticket up, show people how it went last night. I mean, the Grand Canyon thing, that's a new one. It's not a new one, but it's something. I mean, they're up 38 in the second half. They're up 33 with less than 5 to play. They're up over 30 with a minute to play. They're up 26 with 35 to play, and they've got the ball. And they turn it over with 15 seconds, and there's a complete garbage time bucket for Air Force. I mean, if they ran it down to 5 seconds and Air Force ran the court and chucked a 3 or something, I guess I could have lived with that a little bit more, Ben. But how that ball's even, they're up 26. They've been up as much as 38. Air Force is horrible. How that ball's turned, how you're not just getting it over the timeline and taking that down to 5 seconds and putting the ball down and letting Air Force inbounds it. But hey, the night before, North Carolina's up 30 at home. I need them to cover 11.5. Now, I will say this. If we had a Discord, still, and maybe we should do it, Ben, I don't know. I jumped to Grand Canyon the night before at 23.5. So that's still cashed. I feel bad for what I gave out on the show. That 23.5 didn't exist when we got to the air anymore. It was 24.5. Every point matters. The night before, if you read our Hoops HQ column, I jumped the North Carolina line at 9.5 when it came out. We came out on the show. I still liked it a lot, but 11.5 was the best out there. We lost both those on the half point. So that's me, Ben. I'm glad you're doing well.
Yeah, it was a really good night here for me. Bona, that one sucks because I thought he could get there. There were a few opportunities, but he didn't end up playing as many minutes as I thought he would. Still grabbed us the boards we need. By the way, if anybody wants to see what we do, I'm gonna have to figure a way to clean it up a little bit. But in the comments, you can see our record and for the night and which ones we hit, which ones we didn't. So yeah, it was a good night. Ryan Rollins over 7.5 assists, almost cashed in the first half. Collier played every minute of that basketball game, but that was pretty insane. He cashes for us. He also cashed us the double parlay along with Cat because we did have Nemhard wash out, so we don't get as good of odds, but plus 268 is still a good cash for us. Yes. And the Knicks parlay, I should have just played Brunson at 20 plus. The value wasn't there for me, though, so I took 25 plus to get us to plus 131. That lost. The Lakers team total cashed almost in the third quarter. So that was another really good cash. Yeah, so we had a very, very good day. I just wish we could have gotten a Bona double-double at plus 1,300. Or if you saw the tweet late and were able to get it at DraftKings, it was like plus 2,100. So good night for us. Hopefully we can keep it rolling.
Yeah, I love the Knicks parlay. The problem was they got up 30 in the first half without Brunson shooting the ball. And that's where we got squeezed. And so he comes in at 21. You knew he wasn't playing the fourth quarter. And he just didn't even attempt many shots in the first half. Shamet's hitting 3 after 3 after 3. And I'm like, you're killing me, bro. Like, you're killing me. So, yeah, that came up 4 short. Another interesting tidbit about last night before we move on. Beltway Ben, Miami of Ohio, and their super efficient offense that get to the rim almost better than anybody in the country, did not attempt a foul shot in that game last night until 7 minutes remaining in the game.
The first, 10 minutes of the game, I was like, oh, this over is going to cash with ease. Then it slowed down a little bit.
They didn't get to the foul line until 7 minutes left in that game. All right, first down. I got 2 plays in the NBA on the same game. Everybody's going gaga over the Knicks. Well, Beltway Ben, I like Denver on the money line tonight, plus 210. Look, the Knicks are on a win streak, but let's look at who they've beat. Washington, the Lakers, Sacktown, my Raptors, my Blazers, the Sixers, and Brooklyn. Not exactly murderer's row. People are going gaga over, they found their defense. They don't need anybody at the deadline. I don't know about that. Not so fast. This is a Denver team that did well without the Joker. I know it's back-to-back for them, but they've been pretty good on back-to-backs. I think they're the better team. If you want to take the 6.5, I'm not mad at you, but I think the Knicks are overdue for a loss. I know the Knicks have been pretty good at home, but I think they're going to get the best of Denver tonight. I think they're going to get the best of the Joker tonight. And for that kind of payout, plus 210, I like the Nuggets. I also think this game goes over the 223.5 Beltway, Ben. When Denver plays back-to-back, they're 7-3 to the over. Denver's played 5 straight overs, Ben. They've gone over by 15.5, 6.5, 11.5, and then half a point and half a point. They're 17-10 to the over on the road. 32-19 to the over overall are the Nuggets. 29-16 to the over outside the division. Again, I don't fully buy. Okay, like the Knicks, last 10 games have number 1 defensive rating in the league. But look at who they played. I do buy the Knicks offense right now, though. And they're 7th in offensive rating the last 10 games. Denver is 5th in the NBA in offensive rating since Joker came back. That I know you might say it's playoff basketball. I don't know, man. I don't know. I think we get over 230 in this game, to be honest with you. I think both teams score.
Yeah, for me here, we're going to play a little bit of a chalky same game parlay, and a parlay we have in overtime is chalky as well, but I'm fine doing it. SGA 25 plus points, Victor Wembanyama 20 plus points, minus 137 in this matchup tonight. And it feels like I know how the NBA scheduling works and all that, but it does feel like these teams play more than anybody else. We had the 3 games in a week or whatever. And I know the NBA,
the NBA Cup,
the Cup, right? Like all that changed it, but it does feel like we see this matchup once a week or once every 2 weeks, and the rivalry is getting heated there. I just think SGA, 43 of 49 games, he scored 25 plus points. And now you're putting him against a team that everybody was saying was their daddy for a few weeks after finally they were able to beat them the next time. But everybody was kind of criticizing Thunder. Is this their year still? The Spurs got him beat, and SGA comes out. Last time they matched up, scored 25 plus points, was able to do what needed to. Thing with Wemby, these matchups, he has not been able to score 20 plus points. Since they've played them this year, he has not done it. I would expect him to get there in this spot. Some of those games were the minutes restriction, and then the last one was more of a blowout. The spread tells me this should be close. I know that doesn't mean anything in the NBA, but these two teams matching up, I think the NBA wants it to be a close game because the past few, like they've had 1 or 2 close ones, but they don't want to blow out here. They know a lot of eyes will be on this kind of heated rivalry. So give me SGA 25 plus points, Wemby 20 plus points, minus 137.
Heated rivalry. Have you heard about the heated rivalry? I haven't seen it, but I might check it out. It's this NHL. It's like this NHL drama where I guess it's guys on rival hockey teams or lovers.
Oh,
it's all over the internet.
Yeah.
And then like there's people blogging about it who I guess maybe don't really like it, but are pretending they like it, like former players or something. I don't know. The NHL should embrace it, man. Anytime the NHL gets mainstream coverage, and especially coverage in like the I can never put all the letters, LBGTQ community, they should fully embrace it.
Yeah.
I
saw something about it on Twitter, but I don't watch much. I don't watch many shows.
Yeah, I haven't seen it, but I might.
I watch one show.
It's good.
You know that.
You like SVU. You're all about the SVU.
SVU. And a few documentaries. Like I watched the A-Rod documentary. Stuff that interests me, like
you should watch the 1980 Olympic U.S. men's ice hockey.
The 30 for 30 that came out years ago?
Documentary on Netflix. Netflix has a new doc out on Lake Placid, Miracle on Ice.
Miracle on Ice, yeah. They had it was a movie, right? It's a movie about that?
Well, they made a movie out of it, yes. But this is a documentary. You're talking like to the actual Mike Eruzione and Pavlich and Johnson and Craig.
Did you notice I don't have glasses on? Contacts.
Oh, you're going to contacts.
Basketball tonight.
I've been wrapped up in my own misery. How's that going for you? How are the contacts going for you?
They gave me 5 daily, so I had to pick and choose. And I don't see them until next Friday. I am going to call them and be like, what's going on here? But I use them like this is my third time wearing them, and it's for basketball.
Maddie like them?
Yeah, she's good with them. She thinks it's funny watching me try to get. I mean, this morning it was literally an hour. It was an hour performance of me trying to get these in. It was bad.
I had them in college and I hated it, man. I would use the wrong stuff. Like back in the day, you had to change them all the time.
Right.
And you had to like leave them overnight in this dip. And
Yeah.
there was like one dip that will scald your eyes and one dip that's like saline. And I would get them confused. And I would just, my eyes would be all red. I mean, I was just like, you know, and you'd pass out and wake up and they're stuck in your eyeball. Like,
All right.
Wasn't for me. I'm not vain enough, buddy. I'm just not nearly vain enough, especially at this stage in my life. But the technology's come a long way, and you should do it.
Yeah, I want to get the LASIK surgery.
Yeah, my eyes are so messed up. They're like, you're not even really a candidate
for the LASIK surgery.
Yeah, they're like, we can't guarantee. Like,
damn,
they're like, we can't guarantee you good enough odds that it even takes because your eyes are so bad. Yeah. I mean, that was a long time ago too, but like, I don't care. Like, nah. But you should do it. Maybe you can get an endorsement. A lot of people on the media got it for free.
Good to know.
They got endorsements. Oh yeah, they were handing that stuff out left and right. That's when I found out I wasn't a candidate. Interesting. I wouldn't have even investigated it myself. But then they're like, "Hey, you can get this for free." I was like, "Well, all right." I'll just go to an eye doctor and see. He's like, yeah, not for you, Holmes. Second down. I've got 3 college plays that I really like that I made. We're going to save a special one for third down, though, because that team is near and dear to our heart. Not that the Navy isn't. Liberty Bibberty, we've only been on a few times. Navy, it's been very good to us. We'll start with these. We're laying the 4.5, Navy at Lafayette. Juiced a little bit in our favor, minus 108. Look, Navy's covered 7 out of 10 conference games. Navy's 5-3-1 against the spread on the road. And Navy, when they're a favorite, they do the job. 10-6-1 against the spread. Navy smashed Lafayette 76-50 in Annapolis, Maryland, at the Naval Academy. Lafayette, they played a little better lately, but I don't fancy them. They're basically 300th in the country in KenPom offense and KenPom defense. They get killed in 3-point shooting. They cannot defend the 3-point arc at all. And Lafayette's also 9th out of 10 teams in the Patriot League in scoring per game. Navy's number 1 in defense in the Patriot League, allowing 63 points per game in conference. Navy's got a plus 11.7 scoring differential in conference, best in the conference. Lafayette, minus 2.8, 7th out of 10 teams. Look, Navy really smashes people at home, but I think they win this game by 10 on the road. And then Liberty Bibberty at Delaware. We're going to lay the 12 with Liberty Bibberty. This is more a fate of Delaware. Delaware moved from the CAA to Conference USA. It ain't working out very well for them. Beltway Bend. They're averaging 62 points per game in conference. They've covered just 2, the Blue Hens, of their last 8 games at home, 2-6 against the spread. Their last 8 at home. They've lost 6 of their last 8 at home outright. That was a tough place to play in the CAA. Not so much for these other schools. Delaware, 300th in KenPom offense, outside the top 250 in defense. Liberty Bibberty's covered 5 of their last 7. They've covered 6 of their last 7 on the road. Liberty Bibberty shooting over 41% from behind the arc. Beltway Bend in conference play. Liberty plus 9.5 scoring differential in conference. Best in conference. Delaware minus 7.2. Last in conference. We think this has blowout potential.
Yeah, second down, just like you, I am going to go to college basketball. I'm going to play Alabama minus 7.5 at minus 112.
Alabama!
All last week, looking at this matchup, I've been trying to find ways where I'm going to take advantage of A&M. And they've been really good. I should probably slow it down a little bit, but I think they're due to hit the wall. I just don't know the Buckyball is going to be able to take them all year. They're 17-4, best record in the SEC. Like, they've been incredible. I just don't know that I'm fully buying what they're selling right now. I don't think their roster is good. I think they got a good coach. It's also impressive. He took over after Buzz Williams took the Maryland job, and he's had perfect success. Maryland's one of the worst teams in the history of the sport. in the college. But no. I think Alabama covers 7.5
a little
here.
strong.
What'd you say?
It's a little strong in the history of the college sport. I mean,
No,
our
I didn't mean
UMKC
the history. I meant
Kangaroos
their history.
Would like to.
I
have
think
a
the
word
Bob
with
Wade
you.
years were better.
You're saying in the history of the sport or the history of the
I said
school?
the history
I
of the
thought you said
sport
history
as
of
a
the
joke.
sport.
I said the history of
okay.
the sport as a joke. The history of the school, this is the worst year.
Oh, history of the school, absolutely.
I wasn't alive during the Bob Wade years. I've followed it pretty closely since I've been alive. I think this is worse. They had NBA players.
I watched Bob Wade coach at Dunbar. Saw all those Dunbar teams.
Yeah.
Muggsy Bogues, David Wingate. It was amazing.
Yeah. Buzz is a joke. But no, 7.5. Alabama, not a great year so far. They can beat some of the best teams. They can lose some of the best teams. They're coming off of the most embarrassing loss of the year, 23 to Florida. And we heard Golden call a shot before the game. The whole Bediako saga, him coming from the G League, everybody kind of yelling at him, calling him a G League dropout. And Todd Golden before the game said we're still going to beat them. Turns out they beat them by 23, and it was never really close in the second half. They went on a big run, put them away. Here, though, I think Alabama gets right. Their offense can get it going. A&M, they can score 2 with the best of them. It's a very big total, but it's like that for a reason. I think Alabama gets into the hundreds tonight. It's not even a joke. I really do think we see good offense from Alabama. Their team total is 92.5. They're going to clear that. I think they do get to 100. And I think their defense will clear it up enough. I know A&M is scoring with the best of them right now, but this is a road game, and Alabama's been fine at home. They've had enough tests to start conference play, if you look. And the few conference games that they have won, they've been able to cover this in almost all of them. So in this spot at home, I think we could see a similar game to like how they were against Kentucky, where they won by 15 or 16 points, something like that. Give me Alabama minus 7.5, minus 112.
Excellent. Hop Zeke. Say that right. Yeah. Hop Zeit. It's probably more like Hop Zeit. 1, 2, 3, 4. Welcome back from those commercials that I guess are making money for somebody. I guess. Third down. Let's go to the aforementioned UMKC Roos. Maybe I'm missing something here, Beltway Ben. South Dakota traveling to Kansas City. We're going to lay the 2.5 with South Dakota here. The Roos are certainly more horrible on the road than at home, but let's not pretend it's been good at home. Bottom line is the Roos are 1-8 against the spread in conference. They're 5-15 against the spread overall. They're 1-6 against the spread at home. They failed to cover all of those games by at least 3 points. South Dakota's not a great operation, but they are 6-3 against the spread in conference. UMKC, if you haven't been paying attention, their Ken Palm profile is c'est magnifique. It's pretty spectacular. They struggle at everything. These teams met earlier this year. UMKC lost 99-83. That score, Beltway Ben, was 27-10 after 10 minutes. Wasn't in the Roos' favor. Now, I'm not going to tell you that, like, maybe there's an injury here or something. I couldn't find anything. I thought this was going to be more like 7.5 at least. I'm fading the Roos, baby, until proven otherwise.
Third down. Speaking of fading, we're going to fade San Diego. San Diego, we're playing their team.
That's San Diego.
Yes. Yeah.
San Diego.
Yeah, excuse me. We're going to play their team total under 63.5 at minus 104. Listen, when you look at what St. Mary's has been able to do this season, look at their last 5 games. Gonzaga, they held to 73 points, and that's over this total by, 9 points. But still, with that, Gonzaga's a top 5 offense in the country. Portland scored 69. Oregon State 51, Santa Clara 62, San Francisco 68. San Francisco's another offense that is very high powered. San Diego's been able to go over this a bunch in conference, but some of that is the defenses they're playing. They've also went to overtime in 2 straight games. So their numbers right now look kind of inflated, but they're not going to overtime here as 19.5 point dogs. I just don't see that as a realistic scenario. St. Mary's gets after you defensively. That's one thing that they've always done under that coach, and they're coming off of a tough loss to Gonzaga. Tight spread. A lot of people thought they had a shot, and they just weren't able to get it done. You got to think They're going to be locked in for this one. They're going to bounce back in a big way. Consider taking the 19.5, but instead just decided to play the team total under because I think they're going to get after it defensively. I think they're going to force a lot of bad shots. And I think that coach is going to be on them like he always is in some of these spots, coming off of losses, especially to a rival in Gonzaga. And it's a late night game. Again, you don't want to wake up or stay up till that time, wake up and cash, something like that. I like San Diego, according to Jason's team total, 63.5 minus 104.
San Diego. From a whale's vagina. That's what it means. Look it up.
I believe you.
From a whale's vagina. Whammy! Let's get weird. We're already getting weird, so let's stay weird. Fourth and weird. I don't know. I guess I've talked myself into this because I'm kind of on this a couple different ways. If you're a regular, this kind of ties in with some of my Shaheed plays. Look, I played Seattle to have a play of 20 yards or more on its opening drive. Plus 161 at DraftKings is the best you're going to find it. They've been establishing the run early and then hitting play action shots. And Sam Darnold, the last 3 years, and this obviously predates just being in Seattle, is the number one under center play action quarterback in the NFL. And I think they're going to test New England early and try to get a shock to their system. And they've got two elite deep threats who could do it. They've also got a tight end who can catch a ball for 20 yards. So Seattle's played 19 games, Beltway, Ben. 8 times. 8 times this year they've had a play of 20 yards or more on their opening drive. That's not a bad ratio. It's happened in 3 of the last 5 games, and that's despite facing familiar defenses, right? They've played nothing but divisional teams lately. You know them pretty well. It's happened 3 of the last 5 games. In the 2 games it didn't happen, they had a play of 15 and 16 yards on the opening drive. We've seen Walker get some explosive runs. We've got a guy like Shaheed who could catch a ball 3 yards behind the line of scrimmage and take it 20 yards. How about New England? They've let it happen 7 times in 19 or in 20 games this year. That's not a terrible ratio. Yeah. I like it. That's the number one air yard per attempt quarterback in the NFL, and Sam Darnold. It might be more than 20. You want to play this at 30, you can get real freaky with it. I'm just medium freaky.
Medium freaky, that makes sense. Here, though, I'm going to go to fourth and weird as well. We're going to play Jalen Brunson over 19.5 field goals attempted at minus 140. You look through their first half of the year, and even more than that, probably the first 3 quarters of the year, he was shooting 20-plus shots per game. It was regularity. All of a sudden of late, he's only over this in 1 of his last 5, has not been shooting the basketball as much. Go look at those matchups, though, and the final scores and how those games have gone. Jalen Brunson's been able to run three-point line and three-point line and just watch. Basically get across half court, make sure you guys are in the right set, pass the ball around, and hang down. Now, today, I don't think you're going to be able to do that. This should be a pretty good game. As Jason mentioned, he likes the Nuggets. Jokic is back. The minutes restriction is dying. I would expect Brunson to have an impact on this game. The Nuggets have not been good defending all year, whether Jokic plays or not. He's not the Giannis freak or the Wemby freak that comes on and, changes 10 points per game. Like, they've struggled defensively, and Brunson knows how to get to the free throw line. He's due for one of these outbreaks, which we'll get to a little bit more during overtime. I just like him a lot in this spot to shoot the ball a bunch. The only thing that scares me here with this one, the field goals attempted, he knows how to get to the free throw line, which I just mentioned. In those spots, you don't get the field goals attempted unless he puts it in the basket if he gets fouled. So I still think, though, he shoots the ball enough. I think it's going to be one of his big-time games. And Josh Hart leaves the game last night. Like, they're dealing with some injuries there. I think Brunson will have a heavy impact on tonight's matchup. Give me Brunson over 19.5 field goals attempted minus 140.
That's the other thing I meant to mention when I broke that game down. I think their defense lives and dies with Hart. He does so much dirty work. You want to look at their defensive metrics the last 10 games. Well, I know what it looked like when he was out.
Yeah.
Overtime. Who owned the Chiefs? Owns. Let's start with the puck line parlay. Beltway, Ben. We like the Avs laying the 1.5 at home to SJ Sharkey tonight. And we parlayed it with the Bees going down to Florida and catching a 1.5 goals. So, Avs on the puck line. Bees on the puck line. Parlayed at plus 178. This is 5 straight on the road for the Sharks, and it hasn't been pretty. They've lost 5 of their last 6 on the road. They've lost 3 of those games by 2 goals or more. In their last 20 games, the San Jose Sharks are a bottom 5 team in goals against. I don't really like their netminders. Over the last 20 games, Colorado, number 1 in goals per game in the NHL and number 4 in goals against. Colorado's 20-6 at home. The Sharks are below 500 on the road. Colorado has won 9 of the last 10 meetings against San Jose. Look, it's harder to cover at home with the 2 goals. I get it. Colorado is only 16-11 against the spread at home. But frankly, this is one where I'm hoping it's more like 4-1 in the third period. We don't have to worry about an empty net situation. And then in Boston, look, in Florida, Boston against Florida. Florida's 6-21 against the spread at home. Boston's 15-10 against the spread on the road. Beltway Bend, Florida's covered 2 of their last 10 at home. Bees are the better team. We think the Bees can light them up a little bit here. I actually think the Bees can win this thing outright, but that's our parlay. And then we got a money line parlay in college basketball. Navy on the money line. We covered that game. Sparty's at Minnesota. I'm not going to belabor that point. Sparty almost crapped the bed at Rutgers. Sparty's had some close calls. I think Izzo will have Sparty ready to win that game. They probably cover. They probably win it by 12 or 15. But we think Sparty wins. Look, we like Baylor to do the job at home. They've lost 4 straight at home. I don't think they're losing 5 straight. Look at who they've played lately. Iowa State, Houston, Texas Tech, TCU. They take care of business tonight. And then we like Colgate, who's playing Army, and Army's really bad. There you go. Navy, Michigan State, Colgate, Baylor, plus 173.
Yeah, I've got a number of parlays. We have a few college ones. Or one college one. We also have a NBA parlay and then 2 NBA regular plays that I decided just to wait till overtime to get to. And again, I said it's going to be a pretty chalky night for me in the NBA. I don't do this a lot. Nobody was taking Ryan Rollins' assists yesterday. Adem Bona's rebounds. Like, I'm not somebody who plays the superstars over. Tonight is just a spot where I do like these guys. And it is what it is. So first, overtime. SGA, Donovan Mitchell, 25-plus points. Jalen Brunson, Kevin Durant, and Victor Wembanyama, plus 249. You want to stay away because it's a lot of chalk. I understand it. That's fine. But I'm pretty confident in this spot. SGA, under his last game, should be able to go over. Donovan Mitchell, a quiet few games. All of a sudden, we see the trade. It comes out that he wanted the trade. He wanted Harden. He's going to have to put on a show here. Jalen Brunson, talk about last game, what happened there, him kind of sitting out. And he's been sitting out really the last 4 or 5 matchups. Tonight, he's not going to be able to. KD, another guy who went under last game. And then Wembanyama, it's been up and down. He'll score 18 one game, 27 the next. But that matchup between SGA and Wemby, I expect to finally bring the best out in Wemby. It has not yet so far in their matchups. I think it will tonight. And 20-plus points really is not too big of an ask. A lot of these guys, if you look at their numbers, they're over this in more than 3/4 of their games this season. And we're getting plus 249 for the superstars in a lot of big matchups, right? SGA, you have the Thunder versus the Spurs. That's a big matchup. Donovan Mitchell, listen, it's hard to tell what's going to happen in that game because the Clippers just traded Harden. Garland gets traded. You don't know really what's going on there player-wise, but I do know that Donovan Mitchell will be
NBA
playing.
is super weird right now.
It is. Very weird. Very weird. I've seen people saying stay away, but we had a lot of success yesterday. We had a lot of success the day before. Yesterday also worked out in our favor when you have guys like Isaiah Collier being one of 7 dudes to dress. So hopefully we can get another big trade today, and Donovan Mitchell is one of 5 dudes to play. 48 minutes, 22 assists. What an insane stat line. And then Brunson, the
What
Knicks.
did Filipowski finish with? I stopped looking when it was 14 and 14.
I don't think he got much more. I think it was 14 and 14. Because they didn't bring Markkinen back in.
I mean, that's not a bad night.
No, they didn't bring Markkinen back in.
14 and 14.
Yeah. Last night was a very odd night in the NBA. But Brunson's the same way. Like, this is a matchup against the Nuggets who everybody's talking up. And then KD, it's the Celtics. Celtics aren't amazing, but they're better than people thought. Like, this, I don't see much blowout potential in these matchups. Did say we had a college parlay to get to here. Alabama, BYU, San Francisco, and Seattle on the money line plus 132. San Francisco has underperformed this year in conference, but they're home. It's a good spot. I like them. LMU hasn't been great. They haven't done anything special this year. And on the road, I don't think they're going to be able to take down San Francisco. Seattle, it's been a team that I've talked up a bunch on the show. You're playing Pepperdine, who has 6 wins on the year. Seattle should have no issues at that court at home. Very weird spot for them. I think they win. BYU, they've let down a little bit. Here you play Oklahoma State. I know it's on the road, and I talk about it all the time on this show. I don't love playing road teams. I'm fine playing BYU against an Oklahoma State team who isn't very good. I don't have much scared there. I think BYU gets right. You got an NBA coach in Kevin Young. He should be able to figure things out. And then Bama on the money line. Listen, talked about it earlier. I like them to cover. I think they win. I just don't see Texas A&M going on this run. They're going to make the tournament. They're going to be a really good team, probably a tough out, but I'm not buying the success that they've had. I'm just not. And the SEC is also not nearly what it was in some previous years when you have teams like Alabama who's fallen off, Kentucky, whatever that is. 2 regular plays. Donovan Mitchell over 29.5 points at minus 109. Taking a shot here. As soon as I saw that quote come out about he wasn't, or he wanted to trade, he wanted James Harden to come play with him, you got to back it up. Now, you ask for a guy out, like there's some pressure on you all of a sudden. And Donovan Mitchell has also gone over this with regularity this season. He's averaging close to 30 points per game, 7th in the NBA in scoring. Last 3 games, he has not gone over this in any of the 3, 14, 16, and 25. But if you go before that, 45, 36, 33, was going over it with pretty much regularity. And now you're taking Evan Mobley away. He's ruled out. I think Donovan Mitchell's going to be able to get it going. He can beat you from the 3. He can get to the free throw line. He can finish inside. Donovan Mitchell is one of the more complete players in the NBA. I'm really excited to see how Harden works with those 2 bigs. I know we haven't gotten to that trade yet. You got to think Jarrett Allen and Evan Mobley's life just became so much easier in terms of pick and roll. And I know Garland's kind of fine in that area. Garland plays more defense, but James Harden is going to get those guys scoring. I'm sure we'll be on points props down the stretch with Harden playing because he will just throw the ball up in the air and have them go get it. But the other play, Jalen Brunson over 25.5 points minus 115. Jason and I have talked about it on the show. We were texting about it during the game last night. This dude after tip was like, you know what? They don't need me. They really don't.
Yeah,
now
he's hung out.
Yeah.
He hung out by the 3-point line, and if they tossed it back to him, he'd shoot it. And if they didn't, just let somebody else take the baseline 3, and I'll jog back down court.
Exactly that. And I diving into it over their last 6 games, it's been a lot of that. But you have to look at the outcomes and what the scores have been at halftime and third quarter. He has not been needed. And even in the game last night,
they haven't played anybody.
Yeah, right. They're dominating everybody.
All right, whatever.
And it's blowouts. Like they have not needed him to do much. But the Wizards game in the third quarter, he started to turn it on. It was pretty clear, like, all right, I'm going to get at least 20. Got to 21 and was done. Here, I'm going to need 5 more points against the Denver defense, who, as I said, has struggled. I kind of lean with Jason. Like, I think Denver keeps this game pretty tight. And if that's the case, Brunson should at least get free throws at the end. He should be in for the majority, play the whole third quarter. He'll play the whole first quarter. We need a strong start. If he can give us like 8 to 10 in the first quarter, I'll feel a lot better about this one. So I think he's going to go over 25.5. He's due for one of these breakout showings. Give me Jalen Brunson over 25.5 points minus 115.
That's the show, Beltway Ben. If you don't mind putting the ticket back up. Again, caught some bad breaks yesterday, but nothing like today. R.I.P. Washington Post. Democracy certainly dies in darkness, and billionaires are the enemy, people. It's as simple as that. They are the enemy, by and large, almost exclusively. Melinda Gates, she's invited to the picnic, but I don't know about too many other ones there, Beltway Ben. We will be back tomorrow at 11. We appreciate you guys tuning in. You can always, if you're watching but think you might want to listen at work, please subscribe, Apple Bottoms or whatever. Apple Podcasts, Spotify.
Wherever you get your podcast.
There you go. I guess we're everywhere. Ben says we're everywhere, so we're everywhere. You can email us, wannabetwithus@gmail.com. We always appreciate that.
Our results are in the comments. And we also have a video. We have a video. You want to see us break down the Super Bowl?
Yes.
Check out our YouTube right now. It's up right now.
There you go. So you want to bet. We want to bet. I want to read the Washington Post sports section, but that's never going to happen again. Thank you guys for tuning in. We will see you tomorrow.